Good afternoon, folks. Thought we'd do a switch of period today for this battle report. We're going to do a fictional battle from the Anglo-Zulu War. So what we've basically got is a column of wagons being escorted by 3 companies of the 24th and 3 companies of Natal troops, or NNC, and a troop of Natal horse. So they basically been going down this road track, and they bumped into a Zulu force waiting for them at the crossing. So their objective is to get the wagons across the crossing. Facing them, you can see is a substantial Zulu force. Got the left horn there, followed by the centre and the loins, and the right horn. All the figures I use are the Newline Designs 20mm range, and obviously the wagons I think they might be Revel. They're plastic ones basically, and you'll see each unit for these rules, which are homemade, each unit has a character leading them, such as we take this one here. We've got Captain Young Husband, C Company, 1st 24th, and he has 3 stats: shooting, combat and leadership, and you see there you've got a +1 on each. And next to him we have Henry Pauline, the Colonel, and his stats are +1 for shooting, +2 for combat, but 0 leadership. So each unit has a representative who's leading that unit, including the Zulu forces. You can see here. So they have stats as well, per regiment. And once the leader has been, well, if the leader is killed and who's in charge of that unit, that stat is removed and they use the base stats for that particular type of troop. So I think I will be playing the Zulus on this one. So we'll see whether the British Empire can get these wagons across this river with the awaiting Zulus ready to pounce. And we'll see. And there is literally, it looks like thousands of them. There's not, but it looks like there is. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, first turn. Not a great deal on this turn. British starting to push out their line, as you can see there, almost in a semicircle. The wagons are being pulled off the road for the time being, and the Natal horse fired their first rounds into the approaching Zulu regiment there. Managed to get a pin mark on it. They're hoping to delay the Zulus a little bit to give the chance for the rest of the Imperial troops to start getting into formation. As yet the artillery battery has not unlimbered. I don't have a limber, so it's just facing the other way, as you can see. And you can see there the right horn is going in between those 2 hills, and the centre is spreading itself out between the slight valley there, with the loins coming across the crossing now, and the left horn being dictated by that terrain there. So it's obviously going to come straight through this big wide opening here and hit this company here, unless they can hold them back. So we'll see how it goes on the next move. Okay, turn 2, and the Natal horse have pulled back behind the infantry. They've delayed them as much as they can. So not quite sure what they'll do next. Probably try and support the line. The artillery is deployed now, and as we can see over here, managed to get a couple of pin markers on that unit and a few casualties. This unit here that's getting ever so close to the line, that's now got a pin marker and casualties as well.
and of course this one here. So the rifles of the Imperial troops are doing their work, but let's hope they can hold the Zulus back before they hit their line, because when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, yes, they've got the advantage of the bayonet, but they haven't got the advantage of numbers, not by a long shot. So they will find it tough going if these Zulu units manage to get into melee with them. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, turn 3, and the Zulu unit in the valley there on the right horn has been pinned, and you can see there the unit going around it onto the hill. So the left flank of the Imperial forces are doing quite well. In the centre, quite a few pin markers there and a base lost. So again, the centre is doing okay, and Colonel Pulling has decided to attach himself to this NNC unit here in the hope of bolstering them, which seems to have worked, because they haven't run away at the sight of the approaching Zulus. But unfortunately, on the right flank, we can see these Zulu units getting ever so close. They have lost a base, and I've got a pin marker, but they're getting very, very close. And they did have an NNC unit on their flank, which could have helped. It was heading up towards the high ground here. You'll see that hill is currently empty, because they are in fact over here, having run away without even firing a shot. So maybe they'll come back and help out, but it's not looking good. So at the moment, the Imperial right flank is looking like it might be in serious trouble. Well, let's see if their shooting can help them out of this situation on the next turn. Okay, turn 4, and some good news for Captain Stafford's NNC. They have rallied near the wagons, so they are no longer retreating. And even better news is we've managed to hold off the unit on the right flank. It's pinned at the moment, so it's not going anywhere. But bad news for the centre. One of the companies was hit by the Zulu unit coming down the centre, despite the amount of pin markers it had on it, and it's been wiped out. So the line is now looking in jeopardy. At the moment, the left flank is looking okay, but they need to really find something to wedge that line in the centre, because not far behind are the loins, and here they come charging down the valley. On the left flank, again, managed to hold them off. More pin markers, not managed to pin any of them yet, but certainly they're taking casualties now. So not looking too bad there, but the centre is definitely in a predicament at the moment, and got to find a way to salvage it. Okay, turn 5, and this might be the crunch moment of the battle. The line has fallen back towards the wagons, so it's no longer a nice curve. It's a bit of a jagged line, and you can see there all the Zulus are getting pretty close, but you also see a lot of pin markers. They took extremely heavy fire on this move, and you might notice the little white cards at the back of these units. They were the leader cards for these units. Out of 5 units, 5 D10s were rolled, and 3 of them came up 10. So that's good luck for someone, that's bad luck for someone else, and that someone else being me. So that's 3 of the leaders of these units, obviously leading from the front, being Zulus, are now dead, so their stats will no longer apply, just the base stats to the units. So this is definitely looking like the crunch moment. I think on this move we could see a big development. What's impressed me so far is the NNC, which despite having a very poor morale are actually holding quite well. Even the unit that ran away is now rallied and holding the line, admittedly behind an Imperial unit just to make sure, but it's still there.
So they're doing their best to help out, and we shall see whether it is enough. The lines are still moving up the valley, getting ever closer, so now it's starting to take hits. But which part of the line will hold and which will fail, we shall find out, I think, on the next move. Okay, turn 6, and my glorious Impy is in tatters at the moment. Losing those leaders really did impact me. You see there, the centre, that unit is in retreat, pulling back. So is the other unit in between those hills. My veterans that have just come up immediately got hit by the Imperial line, and they are now pinned. Still got a unit behind them, but the left horn is a spent force, I believe. They might be able to recover, but it's not looking good. They're skedaddling at the moment, and the line is pretty much held. Although there was a bit of drama on the left of the line, because the fearing being charged, the Natal horse decided to pull back. But unfortunately, that left the artillery piece exposed. So the artillery was taken out by the one base left from that unit. So they've got themselves a bit of glory by wiping out the artillery crew. But again, I think they're going to struggle unless I can maybe force this left flank and roll up the line. But we'll have to see on the next move whether I'll be able to do that or not. Turn 7, and surprisingly not a great deal happened this turn, other than more retreating from a couple of Zulu units. That one on the hill, that one over there managed to rally inside in the valley, but hasn't done anything yet. This unit here is my veterans. They're still pinned, so they cannot get moved forward. The unit on my right flank has moved forward, but again is taking heavy fire from that company of 24th and the Natal horse. And the left horn, as we suspected, is heading its way back across the ford, and is unlikely to play any part in this battle from now on. So it looks like if I'm to have any success, it's going to be on this turn. But my success is not looking like it's going to happen, because as yet the British have only lost one company, so 60 men, and I think I've lost probably in the region of maybe 1500 Zulus. So we'll see if I can get any more glory. Okay, end of turn 8, and the Zulu force is in full retreat back across the ford. They failed to break the line, unfortunately for me, and they are now in full retreat. They've reached their army breakpoint, and there will be no success for the Zulu forces today. The British forces, or should I say Allied forces, not forgetting the gallant NNC, who miraculously managed to hold off numerous checks to see if they would run away. But obviously it was a good day for them. Not very good with their firepower, but they did their job. They held the line, and they supported the British companies. The only casualty was one British company that was wiped out, which unfortunately was, let's have a quick look, that was E Company of the 1st 24th. And I'm not forgetting, of course, the artillery battery that was left somewhat stranded by the Natal cavalry on the left flank. But I'm sure they'll make up for it now as they pursue the retreating Zulus. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed seeing this battle report. Like I say, they are home rules, and I know a lot of people don't like the use of unit cards and other things like dice and markers and stuff that do clutter the battlefield a little bit, but I don't mind them on certain rules, just because they keep the bookkeeping down, and I don't think they're too intrusive on this game. Certainly didn't find them intrusive. I think the rules worked out pretty okay. It was a bit close, certainly at one point. Really thought I would break that line, especially when I took out the unfortunate E company, but just couldn't follow it up. And the firepower of the gallant 24th companies was enough to keep me back. So casualties were very high for myself. I think in total, not including the pursuit, obviously, I lost around 2,500 Zulus. The loss of one company of the 24th and the artillery piece, so 60 to 80 men. So hope you enjoyed. Thanks.